Hello, I'm glad you can make it to the channel today. Today's topic is based on the misjudged, stereotyped, and the suffering of Nigerians in the diaspora and why you should pity them. And please note, I am speaking as a concerned African, and what I'm about to share with you is not a fabrication. I am a living witness. As an African living abroad, I'm not excluded. I am in the middle of the struggle. And the video is not produced to spread hatred or to discriminate against any race, people, or religion. Okay, now, stay tuned and allow me share the true story with you. Grab a cuppa, of course I mean a cup of tea, and then subscribe. Thank you. Meanwhile, let me quickly tell you about the country called Nigeria. A brief history. Nigeria was granted independence on October 1st, 1960 by the British. Thereafter, on October 1st, 1963, Nigeria became a republic. Azikiwe became president of the country. However, Prime Minister Tafawa Balewa has more executive power. Nigeria has over 250 tribes, but the largest popular tribe are the Hausa with say 23% of the share, Yoruba with 22%, and the Igbos with 18% of the population. Please note, the figure keep changing, tribes by percentage. The population of Nigeria, according to the recent data, is 206 million. You see, over 200 million. Nigeria has experienced several coups d'etat by the military and is presently being ruled by a president voted for through the ballot papers, President Buhari. And during President Muhammad Buhari regime, according to the report, Nigeria is more divided than ever before. Constant kidnapping and killings of Nigerians by Boko Haram, ISWAP and ISIS. And the recent killings of Catholic Church members during worship on Sunday, June 5th, 2022, where at least 50 people were killed at St. Francis Church in Owo, southwest Nigeria. The Nigerian economy is one of the largest in Africa. Since the late 1960s, it has been based primarily on petroleum industry. There are vast reserves of natural gas. Meanwhile, oil bunkering is also taking place in some part of the country. Lagos, a cosmopolitan city consisting of islands and mainland area, is the former capital of the country and the largest urban region in Nigeria. Abuja, a much more planned city in the center of the country, it's planted in the center of the country, has been the official capital of Nigeria since 1991. Although some government offices remain in Lagos, the former capital. 50 years, listen to this, 50 years after the Biafran conflict, Nigeria is still battling to maintain its unity with various groups, not just the Igbo, but also the Yorubas, calling and agitating for Biafra and Oduduwa nation respectively. Moving on, let me take you on a journey to Malaysia and share my experience with you. Also about the plight of Nigerians during my stay over there. The suffering of Nigerians. You see, some few years back, I traveled to Malaysia to do a master course at the International Islamic University, Malaysia. And to inform you, aside from Islamic studies at the uni also runs courses in civil, mechanical, engineering, law, IT, etc., etc. And then, some years back, the uni paid for your studies, including feeding. Meanwhile, while I was there processing my admission, I share a flat within a block of flats with some Nigerians I met there in Kuala Lumpur. I think my flat is in Petling, Jawa or Suban Jawa. And then on a particular Saturday, the Malaysian police came knocking. Burst into our flat and they start interrogation without asking for our passport. They just assumed we are all Nigerians. And the inspector of police said, "We don't want you people here. We don't want criminals here. You came to my country to commit a crime and mess around." And the inspector goes to say, and then I'm going to quote him now, "Your embassy told us not to allow you people here. You will come here and spoil this country," end quote. Wow. You see, the Nigerian embassy is meant to be the custodian of Nigerians abroad. Alas. They are the ones selling and stabbing you in the back. And please note, the police did not provide any evidence that people in our flat are the criminals they are looking for. Well, as you are a Nigerian, you are a potential criminal. Another officer said, you came and carry a woman with your stolen money and brag around. Okay. Okay. Let's say some few Nigerians like to date Malaysian women, but not the people in the flat. We are all potential students processing admission. Meanwhile, please hear this. To be candid, if you are not disciplined, you could be carried away by the beauty in Malaysia. You see, the Malays, original Malays, are called the Bumi Putra. They are very reserved and predominantly Muslim, and their women are very beautiful. What you are looking on your screen now. And in Malay, they also have the Chinese and the Indian. And if by chance, if there is a cross marriage, which is not common, that's it. If there's a cross marriage between any of the tribes, wow, holy smoky. All the women or ladies born as a result of the union are usually very beautiful. They are an epitome of beauty. You see, my Ghanaian friend called Malaysia Al-Jannah of women, meaning paradise. I think you will agree with him. You can see a few of them on the screen yourself now. That said, I'm not encouraging you to go and mess around with Malay ladies and brag about it. Me pacho, Charlie, me pacho. Okay, back to the incident at the flat. To inform you, we were all arrested and taken to the police station, while my Ghanaian friend and I were later released. But the Nigerians were locked up for days, perhaps weeks. And during that period in Malaysia, the so-called black people were perceived as criminals. Hence, I left Malaysia without registering for the course at the university. Back in the UK, I gained admission to one of the universities in London, where I met several other Nigerians. I met a guy, a very humble Nigerian, and a very brilliant guy, a first-class student in petroleum engineering. Shortly after graduating with a first-class honor, he applied for a job, I think with Chevron or Shell, I think in Paris. And because of his impressive CV and result, he was invited for a phone interview. You see, as the interview progressed, and as it appears, he could get the job. The interviewer, the person gave him the conducting interview, asked him about his nationality, and he said, Nigeria. A long silence followed. The line went dead for some time, and the man conducting the phone interview told him without apology, and I'm going to quote him, "We cannot hire you because you are in Nigeria," end quote. Without any apology. He goes on to say, "We don't employ Nigeria because of their bad image." You see, this is what is called stereotyping. Okay, if you are in the shoe of this young man, what will you do? I'd like to hear from you. Meanwhile, I tell you what he did. The guy eventually moved to another European country for a PhD program. In another development, and this happened to me, I applied for an IT job as a technical support engineer. I was invited for an interview in the city of London, obviously because of my reasonable experience as stated on my CV. And then listen to what happened. As soon as I walked into the office, after sitting down, the representative of the company who was meant to conduct the interview, looked at my German passport, and he said, and I quote him now, "You Nigerians, you marry a white woman to get a passport. I know the game," end quote. Rudely, in sarcasm. You'll be surprised to hear that no interview was conducted. Nothing. He said, "We shall get back to you," and he never did. And to inform you, this guy is not British, as in real British. And from his look and accent, he's probably from Eastern Bloc, perhaps Poland. Though I was not happy with his unprofessional behavior, more so because he assumed any black man with reasonable intelligence is a Nigerian and a criminal. I walked out of his office and then, please listen to this. I shared what happened to me with a Nigerian friend of mine, a solicitor. We attend the same church, in the Greenwich area of London. I asked him if I could sue the IT boss who insulted all Nigerians. The guy just laughed and said I should forget it. He said, and I quote him, "Welcome to our world." Now, I know Nigerians are in serious trouble if a solicitor is hopeless. Moving on, what I'm about to share with you is a rivalry between Nigerians which has made the situation worse for them. A supervisor in a company I once worked with told me, if you want to get rid of Nigerians from a company, I'm in job. You even know the difference between Yoruba and Igbo. He said, let's say one is Igbo and another a Yoruba man in the same office. Pitch them against each other. They will not know. Rather, they will fight each other. And then we always sack both of them. Wow. And this does not exclude their women doing care jobs. You know what I mean by care jobs? The same strategy is often used to flush them or sack them. But why? Are you with me so far? I think you agree with me that Nigerians in diaspora are in a deep mess. However, it does seem to me as though this strategy is used against those Nigerians who migrated into UK or Europe, while the Nigerians born here in the UK perhaps enjoy some privileges. However, this is important. There are quite a few reasonable Nigerians who have excelled in their profession. People like Wale Soyinka, the Nobel Prize winner Achebe, Anthony Joshua, and Dr. Olutoye, the brilliant and talented professor of surgery. You can check about him later. Okay, let me quickly tell you about my experience at a restaurant in Holland, in Hasselhoff. And I sincerely hope all Nigerians should do something about it, particularly the Igbos. You see, there is this lady from South Africa married to an Igbo man. I was told she was very rude. And true to what was said about her, while I was at the restaurant, without provocation, or let's say without any issue, she started to insult other Nigerians. Why? Because the Igbo man encouraged her to do so. Okay. Otherwise, how did she come about the following words? Like, who be your papa? Where is your clan? Who knows you? Who are you? Etc. etc. The question is, why? Why do you sell your people cheap to others? That said, you see, despite the plight, the suffering, the stereotyping, and discrimination at the workplace and everywhere, most Nigerians know how to wind down. How? A good question. They often go to parties to wipe away pains and sorrow. In a way, they are very resilient and incredible people. However, given the number of resources in Nigeria like oil, gas, cocoa, copper, iron, ore, etc., etc., I think Nigerians should not turn to slave abroad or suffer humiliation. To inform you, since independent to date, Nigerians have experienced bad leadership from both the military and the politicians. They continue to loot the treasury, mismanage wealth and resources, etc., etc. And perhaps this is why the Igbos and the Yorubas are now clamoring for Biafra and Oduduwa nation respectively. And I think they succeed. I think both nations will excel. And very, very well too. I hope you find the content of the video useful and informative. I'd like to hear from you. Okay, now, here comes the best part. Subscribe, like, and comment. The goal is to generate wealth, build companies, and then create jobs. Bye now. See you soon. Thank you.